Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Fivers Futures Live Trading Room. I am Dave, your host, and I am ready for another fun and exciting day in the markets today. And as usual, like every Wednesday, Mr. Super Steve Tellman will be joining me soon. So let me know in the comments how you're doing. Let me know where you're watching us from. And let's get into these charts. We've had a massive drop on the NQ. You know, I have some construction work happening near my home. Hopefully you don't hear too much of the noise. Let me know if it bothers you, and I'll try to suppress the sound. But we are dumping after the PPI release this morning. Actually, you know what? Let me see if there's other news, because this looks like it was definitely, the PPI doing that. We had core PPI year over year come in at 5.2% versus a previous 4%, which is pretty high. We had the core PPI be at 1%. In comparison, the previous one was 0.2. And then PPI month over month came in at 1.4% versus, 0.7. So this is way hotter than expected. This is telling us that, okay, inflation is running hot. And basically, so you can think of the PPI like the prices that factories and companies pay before, the stuff gets to the stores. And if PPI is rising a lot, well, that means business costs are rising. And that usually means that inflation is heating up. And when inflation heats up, well, the Fed gets nervous. Speaking of the Fed, this week it is probably going to be a new Fed era. We have Jay Powell giving up his seat to Kevin Warsh. So we're going to see how that's going to go. The Fed is kind of in a tough spot right now with inflation rising, and their only tool is to play with those rates. So I'm kind of dying to see what Mr. Warsh is going to decide. And usually when, yields go up and the data comes in hot like that, well, we see dumps in the indices, and we might even see gold dumping. Let's take a quick look on gold. I know oil was going up, so I have oil up there, CL, and we're somewhat flat in comparison to yesterday, somewhat flat or a little bit lower. And then on the hourly chart, I have gold pulling back a little bit. Now let's compare that to the NQ. NQ is definitely dumping. Will we find support? Will we maintain? Because we have our, high volume node right there around those 2900s, just above the 2900s, 29223. We found support there. Can we hold? Let's take a quick look at the ES. ES kind of behaving like the Nasdaq. The difference is, though, you can see that there is some weakness in the ES because the point of control is sitting above where we dumped from, right? So that is pretty interesting. We've seen more relative strength on the NQ in comparison to the ES. So we're going to see how that develops today. So let's go back to the NQ. That is a very, very nice trend break. It's a nice setup, one that I like to take. Fortunately, I was not trading when the price kind of dump. Wasn't really looking at the markets then. So we will see what we get today. We also saw somewhat of a trend break the other day right here, even though it wasn't as sharp as this one. Let's just look at this pullback here. How much did we pull back last time? We dumped 226 points and then found support and pulled back 137 points. So let's compare that to here, from this high to here, 243 points, from this high to here, about 200 points. So it's a similar dump. And since we climbed up 33 points from the bottom, 134 would be right around here. So right below VWAP here. So that's going to be an area of interest for us. I have my inflection zone right above here where, in my opinion, if we stay below this, we're probably bearish. So we will see what happens around these areas and decide what to do. But for now, because of the producer price index ticking up so high, man, that's pretty elevated. 1.4 versus 0.7 for the month over month. That's basically double. And then the year over year core PPI, that's 1.2% above the previous one. And then the consensus was 4.3, which means, yes, they thought it was going to be somewhat elevated, but they did not estimate that it was going to go so high, right? Let's look at the dollar index really quickly. Let's see what the DXY is doing. Okay, DXY is pushing up firmly. Let's go on a lower time frame. Yeah, dollar is becoming more and more strong. So interesting take here. Let me know, guys. Let me know where you're watching us from. Let me know who is in the building watching the live. Tomorrow I will be live exceptionally, because we usually, not tomorrow, sorry. On Friday, I will be live on Trade the Pool. And alongside, man, what's going on with my throat? Let's have a little bit of water. Sorry about that, guys. I've been struggling with the throat for the past few hours. I don't know if I'm catching a cold or what's going on, but maybe it's my body seeing those markets dump. But yeah, I will be live this Friday alongside Trader Pool and the Fivers Forex, and we'll be discussing the Fed, the transition, and everything that's going on. I'll be doing it alongside Super Steve and LJ. LJ is a very good and very knowledgeable trader. It seems like LJ knows something about everything, so I definitely want to get his take this Friday on what he thinks is going to happen with the Fed. So we will be live starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we hope to see you there. We'll be live on this channel and all the other channels as well. All right, so let's start setting up for the NQ. We tapped into my inflection zone here, and we tapped into, well, we're below the inflection zone around those 29,360s. So right now we want to see, okay, what is the price going to do? Are we going to have somewhat of a recovery? Let me go to a smaller time frame. Are we going to have a somewhat of a recovery? We're having a nice recovery here. Some volume coming in, pushing the price higher. So we want to see, okay, will we pull back and continue and go retest VWAP, or will we go higher and retest this previous pocket of consolidation? As usual, I'm going to wait for the market open to see what the price does. And then once we reach these levels, if we reach these levels, of course, do sellers re-enter, and are we able to push prices lower once again? So we'll see what happens there, and we will decide what to do. Now, yesterday we had a nice setup that unfortunately I missed, but was able to take part of it on the ES, and then I captured part of this recovery here. But yesterday on the NQ, let me just show you guys really quickly. As usual, we had our opening range. So we opened here, formed double bottom, went to test, went right into my level, pulled back, and I said, okay, if we retest this level, I will most likely get in, thinking that we would have somewhat of a pattern formation like this. So I missed this entry, but we went on to test the lows and then go back up right below, right around VWAP. And we had another opportunity to enter short here to go test the lows. And then later on during the day, we had a very nice V-shaped recovery, very nice reversal here. And we went on to take these highs and continue much higher into the Asian session. Let's just measure and see how many points that was. That was a nice recovery. Man, 704 points. Talk about a move back up to these all-time highs, and now we're dumping. So these markets are very interesting. I think right now it's the battle of the shorts versus the longs. If I put my tinfoil hat on, I think that recovery has that sharp recovery we've had for the past couple of days. I've been saying it many times, was due to a massive short squeeze. That's why we recovered so fast. So if I go to here, on the daily, starting from here, excuse my letters here, this recovery was really, really fast, barely any red days. So I don't know. I think that's buyers entering, but also sellers having to cover shorts. And that's why we saw such a fast recovery. All right, we've seen the NQ right now. I'm looking to trade inside these zones. So below this resistance area for shorts. And not really seeing any long setups for now. So we'll see if we can pull back. I know some of you... Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. It's very early here. I haven't had my coffee. Some of you are going to call this this fair value gap here. So maybe we tap into there and we'll see what we get. We're just going to have to be, as usual, patient and disciplined and see what setups we can get on the index. Now, let's switch to the ES for a second. Same thing here. We've seen a dump, although it's a little bit more shallow than the NQ. And remember, on our volume profile, we're trading below the point of control, so below the area where the most volume is traded. So I definitely want to see what kind of recovery we get, at least on the ES, because just like the NQ, we had a very sharp recovery here. And yesterday I took this trend reversal on the ES. So entered around, let's see, entered around here, risking those prior lows, took a partial as we got to VWAP, and then took the rest of the position off on this wick right here for a nice recovery. So I captured that yesterday. So let's see if we can get somewhat of a clean setup today, right? Now, as I like to talk about the speed of price, so here, we could say that price was jogging, right? And then we accelerated, so we went sprinting to the downside. And usually, when that happens, we kind of have to revert back to the mean and then decide, okay, are we going to go back into our jogging phase? Or will we sprint again back to the downside? We will see what happens. All right, guys, let's put a little bit of background music. Actually, you know what? I want to put my soft hip hop. There we go. That keeps me calm, cool, and collected. All right, guys, don't be shy in the chat. Let me know what you're looking at. Let me know what you want me to look at. And while we're waiting for price to kind of build up, and then we'll get into gold here, I want to highlight a very nice article we have on the Fiverr's Futures blog, right? It talks about how does a futures prop firm work, right? And we have very interesting information for you guys here about our programs, account sizes, the scaling potential. We compare indices. We have videos by our good friend Jonathan here, all about futures. There's a playlist on YouTube. And then what I want to point out here, let me keep going lower. Of course, we have the tick values of all the contracts, which I think is very valuable for information for everybody who's trading futures. We have, the main assets here, the main symbols with their tick size, tick value, and point value here, which I think is important when you're trading futures. But let me just keep scrolling down and get to the part where I want to, highlight. This part right here where it says how to pass a futures prop trading valuation. I get the question on and off about, okay, how much should I risk per trade? And here it says on a 50K account, that translates to about $250 to $500 risk per trade. So I think this is a fairly reasonable amount, right? And then if you're trading a 25K account, you could, cut that in half. And that gives you about 7 to 10 opportunities, to take trades and pass your prop evaluation. So I think that is a very, very good article. I'm going to put it in the chat and you guys can go check it out whenever you get a chance. All right, I see I have IG 6207 here. Which time frame do I use to enter trades? Usually I'm using the 1 minute to enter my trades. And good morning, by the way, Ivan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, usually I'm using the 1 minute to enter my trades. We're doing a top-down analysis first, going from usually the dailies down into the hourlies, and then straight into the lower time frames, the 5s and the 1 minutes. Now, when I trade on stream, I'm usually looking for semi-fast trades. So basically trades I can enter, hold maybe for 30 minutes to an hour tops. This way you guys can see the whole process on stream, right? Now, what I prefer is to be able to find setups where I can enter and hold throughout the day, and where these trades can possibly turn into swing trades, right? So for example, yesterday, we had that setup here that I was looking at on the 5-minute, and then I used the 1-minute chart to enter, and then later zoomed back out. And this, I didn't hold for that time, but this was a great example of how, you know, an intraday reversal could turn into a longer term hold. I've been saying, what platforms does the Fivers suggest to use? Okay, so we have Black Arrow as a platform that we use to trade futures. That's the platform you see right now. It is a great platform that I like because it's very fast. And I don't say that just because I'm with the Fivers. I've used multiple platforms, and I will say this one is very, very good and very, very effective. I also like the way that we can calculate risk on the chart. So basically, if I press shift, I could put buy orders with my automatic brackets already locked in. So for example, here on the ES, you could see this is a 1-to-1 setup where, you know, if I decided to put a limit order somewhere here, a buy limit order, automatically I'm risking 20 points and looking for a 20-point target. That's a 1-to-1. But of course, I can modify it and decide, okay, I'm going to maybe risk 10 points, aiming for 20 points. And I like the fact that, you know, this can happen automatically. And then I have the shortcut where if I press Alt, I get the inverse. So I can find a short and possibly enter here. So, you know, to trade futures, we are using the Black Arrow platform, which has, you know, all the tools, the indicators, RSI, VWAP, Bollinger Bands, MACD, etc., anything you can think about. And Black Arrow has various tiers of their software. It's a very, you know, lesser known but very long-standing company. They've been in the game for over 20 years. So this is a platform we use to trade futures. And I also like the fact that the news is right there integrated with the platform. This way I can kind of have it ready here and know, okay, is there news today? Is it there any news? Is it news I should be concerned about? So I really like that. And I like the fact that you can go and have multiple layouts here. So if I want a clean chart, I can just switch to what I call my trading layout. And then I can go to my analysis layout. And here I have a weekly analysis layout that is ready-made. So really like that about Black Arrow. Great platform. And that is the one we use to trade futures. IG saying it looks good. Yes, it does look good. It does look good. And then usually, since you were asking, IG 6207, I will have a higher time frame on the right and a lower time frame on the left. So I'll bounce around. You know, you'll see me go on the 1 minute and then look at the candles there, and then, you know, maybe go up 1 or 2 time frames here on the right and use a 15 or maybe a 5-minute here, depending on the hour of the day. So if we are, if it's the beginning of the session, if it's earlier, I'll have the 1 minute there, and then maybe the 5 or the 15. And then as we progress throughout the day, I'll have the 5-minute, you know, I'll bump it up to a 5-minute and maybe have, you know, a 30-minute or maybe even an hourly open on the right. And this way I can compare. And then you have your order entry here. You could set your brackets. So I have my 1-to-1, small risk, and then 2-to-1, depending on what type of trade I want to take. So they're already preset. You could click the plus icon here, go here, and then modify your settings however you want. You could play with trailing stops and all kinds of good stuff. Anything you would expect from a professional platform. Does it allow copy trading? Yes, Black Arrow has these setups where I haven't used the tool yet, but definitely you can copy trade using Black Arrow. And then in the higher tier software, you can even use AI and program your own setup. So I think overall, it is a great platform. And I have to say, if you're used to TradingView, if you use TradingView a lot, this is going to feel very, very intuitive to you, right? It's there's quite a lot of similarities. For example, the drawing tools are similar. And I would say the order entry is fairly similar as well. So very intuitive. I like the platform overall. I'm not just saying that because I'm trading with the fibers and using it. I truly like the platform. Now, I'll bounce back and forth between Black Arrow and TradingView just because I do a lot of chart analysis on TradingView. And let's say I'm in a trade and I want to just leave the trade going, not have to exit. I'll go and go on TradingView to look at stuff. All right, so Yvonne's saying any countries that are blocked, you're an American, Venezuelan, sometimes you have to be in Venezuela, and that gives you trouble sometimes. So there are countries that are blocked. I would have to look at the website to see exactly which countries are blocked. You can go on the Fivers website. There's an FAQ, and we can look at different which countries are authorized or not. But you should be fine if you're in the States. You should be totally fine. Now I hear my doorbell ringing, and it means that Super Steve Tillman is in the house.
Hey,
how you doing?
Doing great, David. How you doing?
Good.
Awesome.
We
got a nice
to
setup
have you
today,
here.
I think.
You said what?
I said we got a nice setup today, I think, with the PPI data coming in. How are you feeling on it?
We had the PPI data come in. It came in hot, I said, or super hot, sizzling hot, super spicy, like you like to say. So it's an interesting one. I mean, inflation is running hot. We're gonna see what Mr. Warsh is gonna do with that, how he's gonna attack that, and then we're gonna look at what setups we can take. I mean, yesterday I caught part of this recovery that we had, and I didn't expect us to, have such a sharp drop today. But it's looking interesting. We're gonna see what we can do with that today.
Yes, sir. So it's the hottest print since I think late 2022. So it's a little bit significant here, and I'm just curious. I have my macro bias, and then I have my technical bias here.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my levels. I'm looking at the gamma exposure. If we hold 7,400, which is roughly 74.25, 74.30, I'll get the exact number on ES.
Yep.
But right around there, I think, is kind of the neckline where if we can hold that line, we could potentially just run this thing up to, a good 50 points, let's call it. I don't have the exact level for you there quite yet.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So it's 74.50 on SPX there that I'm kind of working with. So I'm going to be looking at playing off those two levels and taking quick scalps, if anything, because I don't have a really strong read quite yet. If we do lose that 74.30, let's call it, then I think we could waterfall pretty quickly. But But then again, the market loves buying these dips, so I think we can play like a first tap off that level to the long side as well, and then we can see whether it's gonna digest down through or not. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
Nice. We're gonna see what happens. I've definitely seen, at least on the Nasdaq side, a little bit more strength. So we'll kind of have to determine which we're gonna have to pick our spots here.
Yeah.
But I like those levels you're pointing out. I see a question here from IG62. Do you guys trade minis or micros? Well, I actually trade both. But on the account that I'm trading live, which I regularly trade live, it's a 25K account. So I usually trade micros on it just to keep the risk under control.
Yeah, same here. The minis scare me, You ever enter a mini thinking it's a micro, and then you have a little heart?
Yeah, it's happened.
$500. You're like, what's going on?
It's happened. Not live, fortunately, but it has happened. And honestly, personal preference, I would rather, since I like scaling in, I usually tend to gravitate towards micros. Okay, we have some action here.
A little
Oh,
bit of
it's
red.
the open. I didn't even realize. 9:30. Look at us talking.
Yes, sir.
How about you, IG6207? What do you trade? Let me know in the chat. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, please remember to do so. All right. We're seeing some buying here. We're trying to hold it. Volume increase.
I'm watching into that 738 level of mine here. So far, acting heavy.
Indeed, indeed. How many micro contracts do I take? Well, it varies. The most I've ever taken is 7. But it really depends on the risk and how I'm positioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Not all setups are A pluses, right? So we can't take
exactly.
Size.
It's usually I'm entering with a couple of micros.
Absolutely. Okay, heavy into this is my hourly trigger here, so the 738 level getting pushed through there. Interesting. Let's see if they can hold it below, because that could lead to some wipeout here. Looks like it was a short out the gate there.
Man, that was a nice VWAP entry setup on the ES. Let's see what we get.
Still cooking down.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna see some continuation lower.
Yeah, it's testing those pre-market lows there in the hourly trigger. If it's gonna hold, got it pretty soon.
Yep. I have my little background music going on here.
There you go. I like it. You gotta
very subtle.
Gotta play those chill. Just I don't know. I do like meditation music sometimes if I'm stressing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you got going on, but every once in a while. All right. Still seems heavy.
Yep.
I did get into a very quick scalp, but I'm already scared for it here, so I'm gonna take it off.
Don't be scared, Steve.
Yeah, I took 5%. I'm very very risk averse here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, let at least the first 5 minutes run.
Yeah, give it time to cook.
Indeed. Just look at that's the NQ. Let me look at the ES.
So a reclaim of 738 could be looking good. That's that. Let me get the exact ES level for y'all.
No problem. And then if you want to share your screen, let me know.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll get that going in just a second here. A little bit of a catch. Still got 50 cents or so to the upside before I'm excited about a potential long. And as we get going here, I'll keep on giving y'all updates about the gamma exposure profile. Right now, 7,400 is dominant. To the upside, we have potential to 7,450, and there is stuff on the tape up to 7,505, 7,500. That would be pretty, I'd be very surprised, but
yep.
The market loves eating these dips, so maybe not that surprised.
Let's see. I think you got a private text here, Steve, on the stream.
Oh, do I? Thank you. Oh, I see that now. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Let me work on that.
No problem.
All right, that should be updated on that front there. SPY looking heavy, trying to lose that level.
Looking super heavy. I kind of want to
play this
bottoms here. Yeah, I'm gonna sell those bottoms.
Yeah, I like it. I'm in with you.
It's going fast. Market order. And we'll wait for the other one. Don't even have a target yet.
Yeah, I know we have some range to expand to the downside here if we can catch this move. So it's working so far. I would like to see 73.70 on SPX. Let me convert that. So 7,400 on ES is what I would like to see.
7,400. All right, we're right pretty close there. We are about, let's see, what's that? 15 points away.
Yeah.
So nice.
I am trading with a SPY contract right here just because it was faster for me to get into. Usually I don't trade this open. So I was like, oh.
Of course. Yeah, let's see what we get.
Tiniest of bottom wicks, but not seeing a reason to reverse yet. I will take half off for me just because it's a little bit of a move.
No problem. I'm going to be patient here because if we get a retracement that makes sense, I probably want to scale and add to the position.
I like that.
We'll see what we get. IG 6207. Right now I'm looking at the ES. We just sold these bottoms right here. Let me just, zoom out for you. So, classic setup. You have your trend here and break of trend. We retest VWAP and then we're pushing lower. Now, I took the risk of selling these bottoms, but I'm expecting as we get to this inflection area here around the level Steve talked about, which is around those 7400s, we might possibly get a retracement. And what I want to see if we get the retracement is, okay, can we remain below this pocket of resistance? Or what would really be good for us is if we could retrace but stay below this previous support. This way I could really add and go target lower levels. Those 7400s that Steve's talking about. Yesterday we had a little
I'm out. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
A little bit of a jolt candle. So in the first 15 minutes, I have a rule, Dave, and this is just for me because I'm not a good opening range trader. So if I get the first little sweep of the range, I take it because I was actually crunching the numbers, and for the past about year of back testing the QQQs or NQ, I should say, I was going over the numbers of how many times ranges break in each direction, the opening 15-minute range, and well, first of all, we're not even in that opening 15-minute range. So I'd like to see this push down form the bottom and then a push up kind of form that little bit of a top potentially. And then let me rephrase this in just a sec as I double check. Had to make sure I didn't have any orders in the book there.
No problem.
So essentially they can switch 40% of the times and basically set that 15-minute range and double sweep. So it's almost a 1/3 split between trend day rejection or double rejection. So the highest returns are those double kind of look backs where it sweeps one direction then the other. That happens about 40% of the time. And if you do get it, the trade will work 3 out of 4 times, 75% hit rate. So I'm trying to just stick with that.
Awesome.
And then, yeah, that's the plan. We'll see how it works.
Well, Seems like these numbers definitely make sense for you. We did a little bit presentation the other day regarding the opening range, and there was this one trader that was saying that by doing a 0.25 to 1 risk, he had an 85 percent win rate over 325 trades. So he had the data to back it up. And for him, that was the best setup, trading that opening range. So kind of what we're seeing here, you would short the bottom of the range, and then say you're risking, let's say, what is it, 10 points. You would be taking about 2.5, 3 points, and you could possibly trade it with size because it's a pretty high win rate setup. And that sounds like kind of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I like that a lot. I really do like the 0.25 to 1. And you're saying that he's risking one to make just a little bit, right?
He's risking 1 to make 0.25, but he has like an 80. It wasn't 85. It was like 83.40 something, right?
Beautiful.
Win rate. So,
I love that, and that is kind of what I like to do, where I just take the little bit and I risk a little bit more because it's so high probability when you're taking an immediate test of a level. So for me, we kind of pushed below that 738 kind of opening. That's like we opened right at a level for me, so it made sense that the momentum would carry it down. It also makes sense to me that they would manipulate the price a little bit, push it down if they would like to whip it back up. They don't have to, but when I see this kind of catch here, this doesn't really surprise me so much, and that's why I'm fine with being a little bit scared, a little bit skittish, and just taking that. I locked in 25% on the contract. If you're in futures, you get better gains, so I should have done that. I should have done that. Futures were the way to go for this because I could manage that risk much more carefully.
Yep.
But yeah, so just level to level for me at this point of the day, since we opened below level, just looking for that momentum. And the second I saw green, I said, all right, that's enough for Steve.
No, awesome. I like that. I am, being greedy and looking for I have kind of a bias and a thesis in my mind that we might see much more follow through to the downside because of those numbers. And, I'm one of those guys that's been saying, hey, I think we're due for a pullback, but you know how that goes sometimes. We're due for a pullback, and just keep climbing higher like we're doing right now.
So we'll see if this is the back test or if this is volume coming in to kind of reclaim that level for a failed breakdown. Either way, somebody's gonna get messed up if they're in size, because it's like a 40% chance to 6. All of these splits, they're not super high probability unless you kind of define your edge within it, like that trader you were talking about. That sounds like a great system. So I would not be surprised if this is a back test of that, for me, an hourly trigger, and also the point of control, those morning lows, pre-market lows. Seems like we might be getting that for you, and I hope so. But yeah, and another thing I use for these opening ranges is I personally am a big fan of some kind of I use Bookmap, but any kind of thing where you can just see basically looking at the DOM, the level 2s, and seeing where those orders are stacked up right for the opening range. So for me, I saw them right about where we're trading right now, and that order is still on the books. Oh, actually, let me double check that. Yeah, it's still on the books. I have no idea which way it's going to break. All I know is that liquidity was there for some kind of bounce, which we did see. So now the ball is in the bears' court, I suppose, whether they can get active or stay active and keep pushing below these levels. And then we could see that start to snowball, as that is our zero gamma for the day.
Let's look. Since you're talking about Bookmap here, let me switch platforms here from the 1 to the Ultra, and let me pull this because I use it sometimes. Where is it? Tools, flow map. There we go. So here we'll be able to see how the orders are being stacked up.
And let's see, Dave, I'm having a bit of trouble with my my memory loading all the different brokers and everything. I can share for the moment, I can share my gamma exposure, and I can pop to that as needed. But oh wow, look at that, you have it right in there.
Yeah, so we're seeing the red lines here. We're seeing stacked orders around the 74.20s here, and then I'm guessing buy orders around here at those 74.10s, and then lower 405s. So that's what we're getting on the ES. So if we are able to get the push back up here at those 74.20s, that's where that I would possibly be looking to add. It seems like we're going to get that follow through.
Yeah,
the downside. So
very nice, very nice. So the back test did follow through there so far, at least, and we can see that cooking lower.
Let me bring your screen up so we can see what these levels are. Just 1 second. All right.
Okay, yeah. So really quickly, just to describe what we're seeing here, this is the 7,400 level on SPX. So it's about usually about 30% or 30 points higher on ES. But essentially, this is the level that is the break point for today's gamma. So under this, it can accelerate. So Dave, I think it's a great setup, and you're starting to get it here. Looking great. To the upside, if it reclaims, then we can get a powerful move through there. But, you know, right now we are just past the 15 minutes. We broke that 15-minute orb. So is it the 30% of a day where we get the little swipe underneath and then reclaim to mess with everybody because it's day-to-day? Or is it the 60%, 70% day where Dave gets his follow-through big time here?
We'll see. We'll see. I would have preferred getting the follow-through earlier instead of that push down. But because, you know, if we get it too late, then the idea is that, okay, we've kind of swept the lows, we've pushed to the downside, and now it's time to cover, you know, for the shorts to cover, and for the longs to enter, and for us to move back up.
Right.
So we'll see. If we don't get it, then that ad is not going to come into play. So let me switch back to the other account. Let's look at that trade. And as usual, let me bring my, so the opening range is this. And you guys know I like to take my measured moves. Man, look at how well we tapped into that level that I had here, that inflection area. We wicked in there and moved up higher.
So this is a minor level for me, not big on the tape. But this is a level where we could push down. It's kind of below the point of, or sorry, the, let's see. Is it okay if I share my trading view screen real quick?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was
back and forth from trading view. Give me 1 second.
I got you right here. So essentially, these were my kind of rough paths. Thought we'd come up. We swept liquidity to the top side. We are coming down. This is kind of the low of this volume node, the high volume area. If we can just tag into this low volume node, maybe the 5 or 735 here, and catch, we could look for a reclaim kind of like this. Otherwise, though, it is seeming like we're tracking down here. I would expect some small bounce, but we don't need it. And then we could expand to sweep yesterday's lows. It's possible. It is possible. You're getting it so far.
It is definitely possible. My target right here for, you know, a standard measured move would be around just above those 73.90s. So we'll see what we get. At this point, doesn't make sense for me to risk any of these profits. I didn't have time to add to the position. So wait a second.
No worries there. What I do like, you see these big green bubbles on my screen. That's somebody trying to buy this dip. Like we were talking about, somebody might try to buy the dip. When I got out there, it's because I saw those on the tape. That being said, them getting ran over, that's a really good sign. On a higher time frame, when we see this sell out of the open, if we reclaim that, we can squeeze. So I think that we have an interesting kind of setup here where there's a lot of kinetic energy being built up. If this buy can't reclaim, if they can't make a stand here at this kind of blue band that I have marked out as a minor level, well, then things could get ugly. But just I have so much trust issues with the first 15-minute range, and I've seen so many times how they mess with people. And this big green candle, if I was short, I would be like, why?
I'm that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, why are we getting this prints before I got out of my position. But we're gonna hold. I'm gonna risk those prior highs, and then we'll see what we get. I definitely wanted to add, but
well, depending on how risky you like being, I mean, this is a 9-minute moving average backtest that did show a little weakness there. That was significant green, but hey, you know, this wasn't insignificant that got rejected straight away. So I think you're on the right side of this, and I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Don't worry, you're not gonna influence me. We're good. We're good. No, what's really bothering me is that I didn't have time to add to the trade. You know, that's it. But
yeah, and I was maybe looking for a little back test of that wick where it tried to catch, and it didn't even quite get there. So we will see. I'm gonna grab water. I'll be right back in just a second.
No problem. Go ahead. Gonna switch to my screen really quickly because we have. Who was asking? IG602 asking, am I in a sell? Yes, I am. I shorted around 74.15, right? But honestly, what I was looking for as we broke the low, so I shorted here. I was looking for a higher retest right below VWAP. At that, you know, for the ones that like my fair value gaps, there was a fair value gap here. Not that I used them that much, but I saw it. And I was looking to add to the short here and possibly see some kind of price action like that. But that is not what we got. We got a sharp move to the downside. And if we can get follow through here, so, you know, this is your opening range box here. We broke below. We're getting kind of a retest here of this previous area. So if we can get a curl back down like that, I'll definitely add to the position. If not, then I'll wait, maybe see what happens in this area because that would align with this previous consolidation that we have here. So ideally, what I want to see is for us to remain below this zone. This way I could add to my short and go target the previous lows. Now, if that doesn't happen, like Steve was mentioning, then this is going to be a reversal, which would also be a great setup to go long off of. But I'm going to be patient because I think so far momentum is to the downside. So just gonna hold this. We have a clear level we're risking off of here, 20 points, so it's really a small trade. So we'll see what we get. Haven't looked at the Nasdaq at all though. Let's look at the NQ. Man, look at how this thing reacted well to my levels here. We're seeing a nice recovery here on the Nasdaq because the Nasdaq has been showing more strength than the ES. Just zoom out a little bit here.
One thing that often gets mean reversion or these kind of failed breakdown traders on these days where we break through a zero gamma like we did is that breaking through that zero gamma level opens the door to so much more volatility that you can get a really big green candle that you're like, in positive gamma, if you see that, you know that's enough to send us. But in negative gamma, sometimes that's just volatility opening up in both directions, you know?
Indeed. And fingers crossed, we see continued push to the downside.
The last candle that did print on the 1 minute for me did reclaim the 9. Of course, that's a very, very tentative buy signal. I wouldn't call it a real buy signal, but it's just one thing that I kind of look for. You know, it's one of the first steps that needs to take place in a trend change like this. But in my book, I would still need to see a higher low, maybe off that, maybe just a few points lower, you know, kind of in the intermediary between that swing low we had and where we've kind of sat at right here. That would make me feel better about a potential long. Right now, I do think they might do the failed breakdown. And for me, it's hard to just blind buy these at this point because of the negative gamma kind of expansion, like I'd said. So for me, I would wait for the negative gamma or zero gamma to reclaim, and then I would be trying to get a back test off of that. To me, this is starting to look pretty good for a long, though.
It is. The tone is changing. But today, I'm gonna be stubborn.
I like it. No, it's sticking to your guns is
Yeah, I like to say strong opinions lightly held. Well, today I'm not holding it lightly. I'm holding it strong. So
yeah, I like it.
we'll.
I did shout you out. That quote popped in my head on stream yesterday. I said,
Oh,
"Oh my God,
really nice.
it's Dave and the Fivers crew." So you guys got a little shout out there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Nice. I like it.
It's such a great
Let's see.
concept that it's so hard for people to be willing to say, "Hey, I'm gonna play this trade. I'm gonna play the odds, even if a candle goes against me. I'm sticking to my guns." But if these binary conditions flip, if there's a significant change of character that I know in my head, I don't want to see being real about what we see that. But I agree that this is it. All we're seeing now is a break of range and a back test right now. So
Yep.
if they just smoke it to the downside, that would be fitting, I suppose, for a day to day.
Yep. Actually, I'm thinking about adding right now to the trade just because
Really?
I saw that increase in volume here.
Yeah, notable for sure. And we do have that was before VWAP here, so we can see if we get the higher low that I was hopefully looking for. But yeah, that just pop and drop before we even get to VWAP does show me that sellers are still here, and that the back
I
test of that
think
level is still finding that rejection so far.
so far. We're gonna get into that 10 o'clock candle in about 4 minutes, so we'll see what happens there. But so far, so good. I'm getting the add, and if we get acceleration to the downside, I might possibly add more. We'll see.
Absolutely. I'm seeing. Oh, that's interesting. This is a name for any position traders out there. It's not a day trading one, so I don't even know why I mentioned it. But I just want to give you a holler. I think what is it? Yes, NVEC is a very interesting play in the same space as MRAM. I still need to do more research on it, but it seems very compelling for these kind of small cap data, like photonics adjacent plays. So interesting stuff there.
NVEC, nice.
NVC, yeah.
Market cap
Oh,
down.
wait, not photonics. Something to do with memory. All the sectors popping together makes me like, what even is this? Is this lasers or it's like all this cool tech everybody's really into
Yeah,
now.
everybody's in tech and AI.
Yeah, those photonics,
It
everything,
says, yeah, electronic technology, semiconductors, NVC. Okay.
it's just such a sign of the times that you have QUBT on earnings, this quantum computing small cap. They're like, actually, we're a photonics company now. That's the buzzword we're chasing. And quantum computing, not enough.
Which company just changed? Which completely pivoted? Oh yeah, Allbirds. Is it Allbirds?
Oh,
They were
you
like
mean
selling shoes, and then they just switched.
I was so sure that my friends were pranking me. I was like, what in tarnation is Allbirds doing up 300% or whatever? They're like, oh, they pivoted to a data center. They just sell they just
Crazy.
bought a bunch of chips, and I was like, okay, that's funny. And then I was like aftermarket. I was actually looking. I was like, oh, sometimes the truth is truly stranger than fiction, and that's where
Yeah,
we're at in this cycle.
it's crazy. It's crazy. They were
All I'm saying.
saying, okay, we're gonna make AI shoes. That would be
There
cool.
you go.
Whatever
It's like
that would have been. But anyways,
No, I got it, Dave. It's like Skechers, but it's like a mood ring. It's tied to your, it's tied to all your biometrics. So
yeah,
whatever color your shoes are lighting up, it's. I think there's something to it. It'll turn us into like octopi or something. We can change with the environment.
yeah,
There,
exactly.
somebody's gonna pitch it. I swear.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that one. It's gonna happen. It's
I am
bound to happen.
noting a little change of character here.
We are definitely seeing the change in character. We didn't get that follow through here to the downside, but I have to say that yesterday they kind of fooled us like that. That showed that they were going to push it up. So today I'm being really, really patient. We will see what we get. Today is going to be kind of win or lose. For me, let me just speaking of small caps, let me look at the Russell really quick. Let's see what we're doing on the Russell. This is the daily chart of the Russell is just dropped down. Oh man, small caps are just puking. Small caps are taking a hit. And then let's look at the Dow Jones. All right, Dow Jones recovering. Take a quick look at gold, since everybody loves to trade gold.
Still putting top wicks in here, and Qs are looking weaker than I'd like. So I haven't seen the full flip yet, and this is where I get antsy, where I'm like, it looks like good green, but we are still in negative gamma here. And is that what we're going to be seeing? A little fake out to the upside before the real push down? Or are we going to surge and break that negative bearish trend with new volume? That's the name of the game for me as we coil under VWAP and the hourly trigger. And then a little bit up 50 cents or a dollar. We do have that big zero gamma that I need to see flip.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I think that hourly is going to be telling. Just from a technical standpoint, we are still under that 50% area for me. Since you guys know I love my they've been calling me Boxy Dave on on the chat. And then Jane was like, "Hey, we're going to make you a shirt."
That's a good one. I like Boxy Dave. It's got a ring to it.
I like it. I like it. She's like, "We need to get your shirt." So she made a shirt on Claude. Oh, I got Tuba here. Tuba, you took another loss on the NQ. Why don't why don't you switch to the ES? These days I've switched to the ES just because it's a little less whippy. It's easier to control the risk. So you took a hit because of the down spike. Then after going up, you'll definitely wait again tomorrow. Great. Awesome. I like that discipline. You said you were going to, yesterday, you said you were going to wait today. And today you came back, tried again, it didn't work. So I guess you're taking one trade a day. But, you know, you could try another instrument. You could try the ES. This way you'd probably be able to control your risk better. A lot less wicks. But awesome, man. Glad to see you here jabbing, trying to get those wins.
All right, now we're getting the VWAP test. Now it's where the rubber hits the road.
Yep.
Let's see that action. Hourly, putting in a nice bottom wick, but also has a nice top wick. Indecision, and we are into that equilibrium point of it. So we are still holding, still waiting.
Still waiting, still holding. We're right at that, yeah, we're right at that point of control on the, let me just pull this up here so to show you guys the change that has happened. So I put the ES here. So this morning, our point of control was way above here, right? And the fact that it's moved down here means, you know, obviously the open, lots of volume has been traded here, and we're trying to reclaim. If you're looking at this hourly, it's been an indecision candle. So honestly, like Steve is saying, we're smack dab in the middle, and anything could happen. We could push higher, we could push lower. In my opinion, I think we need, and that's just, you know, purely discretionary, I think we need somewhat of a flush to the downside before we revert back up. I've seen those reversals happen later on during the day lately. So that's why I'm being stubborn. But we might just get it sooner. So we'll see.
Absolutely. A few other things to put on people's radars. We are really at a point of, you know, pivot on multiple levels here. You mentioned a few good points, you know, the point of control, VWAP. We're also smack dab right at the equilibrium, the 50% of the range formed from the pre-market highs to that push low. So if we take the fib from here down to this point, you can see the 50% right there at the bottom of my level, right there. And you see the wick, so that's respecting still. This would be a really gnarly place to reject it, and that might be what we're seeing here. So hopefully you get paid for your for getting cooked here for 10 minutes, because that's what trading is, right? They don't make it easy. They don't make it easy.
Yep. They don't make it easy, and that's why I'm saying, you know, scale in, gradually add to your positions. Just don't go full size, especially if you're, you know, you're less experienced, because when you're holding a large trade and it goes against you, it's much harder to hold. So trust me, we've all been there. We got 6Dog in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My first time trading futures. Consistency rule was at 70%. I won 10 trades in a row and brought it down to 39. I lost 2 trades. It goes up to 67. My confusion is how many trades to bring it down. Well, it's really not the amount of trades. It's more how much are you making on these trades, right? So basically, the consistency rule for the futures account is 30%. An easy way to think about that is your total needs to be less than 30%. So let's put it like this. You need to make, if you have a 25K account, you need to make $1,500 to pass, right? 30% of that would be 450, which means your biggest trade cannot be more than 450 bucks. If it is, then you have to kind of trade more than that. Now, if you go to our Discord, our mod Daniel, Super Daniel, has made a calculator where you can enter your trades and it will tell you exactly how much more you need to make. So he's make a handy dandy calculator, and that can help you there. The other way you can think about it is, and that's what I did, is I try to not make more than 25%. So an easy way to look at it is for 1,500 bucks, you divide it by 4, and you keep your trades under 375 bucks, so under 400 bucks per profit. If not, you'll have to trade more, and eventually you'll be able to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just I was doing my meeting of the minds with some of my Discord guys inside here. Just
No
we were trying to
problem, no problem.
well, we were trying to get a feel on how we're feeling about the tape today, and the kind of the consensus, which what I would agree with, is despite this looking good, gamma exposure, the higher strikes have been rolling off, and it's been mostly just consolidating around that 7,400 since the open and since yesterday. So what that's telling me is probably what we see today is an inside bar day, nothing too
Yep,
crazy, and just trading within these pre-market highs and this pre-market lows. That still gives us a lot of room to wiggle here.
of
So
course.
yeah.
I just need us to go test a little bit lower, test those lows, and that'll be my exit. So I don't need much. 6Dog saying my first trade won 200 divided by 4. 10 trades, I made 50. How many more trades do I need to bring that down? Okay, so let me ask you a question. First of all, what are you trading? Are you trading a 50K or a 25K? And how much in profit are you now? This way I could probably help you determine, how much more you need to make, because it's not about how many trades, it's your dollar amount. That's what we need to calculate.
This is looking a little rising wedgie heavy here. If we lose these moving averages, we could see a pressure release for sure off this
Let's see.
level.
Is it okay? So it's a 25K. You're $297 in profit. That is very good. So basically, you need to make $1,500. So this is let me put the calculator here. I'm gonna switch to my screen really quick. So you need to make 1,500 minus the 297 that you've made. So you have $1,203 you still need to make, right? So what I recommend is so if we divide that by 3, each trade that you take should be less than $400, right? So if you take your next 3 trades should be 400 or less, that will keep you under the 30%. So as you trade, you will see that the percentage will gradually come down, and you'll be able to pass that evaluation. Let me see if I could find the calculator. Tuba saying, anyway, Dave, what's your point of view on gold? You're not so familiar with gold. Sure, we could take a look at gold. So let's look at GC here. We're going to zoom out, and I'm going to come back, Six Dog, in a sec to answer that question for you. Give me just 1 second here. So gold, let me just switch layouts. Yeah, you don't need to keep it under 50 bucks. It's just the total multiplied by 30%. Whatever total you make, your trade needs to be less. Your biggest trade needs to be less than 30% of the total. But no, you you don't have to take $50 trades. That would be a very, very, very hard challenge to pass, and you would have to take numerous trades, and that would be unfair. All right, so gold is pulling back. Let's just go on a hourly chart. So gold has entered this consolidation area zone here, right? Between 4,600 and 4,700, give or take. Now, if I zoom out to, and I definitely like to hear Steve's take on it, but I've been showing this this kind of, my technical view on gold for the past couple of weeks. As we discussed, we had that blow off top. We pulled back, found buyers here with the liquidity, pushed higher into that pocket of resistance, pushed back lower, and we kind of formed, this descending flag, for lack of a better term. And then we found buyers here again, but we got to this level here, which to me was okay. And I think I talked about that with Steve last week, where it was kind of make or break here. Were we going to break through this previous trend here and go test this inflection around those 4900s or 5100s? Well, that did not happen. We're pulling back here, right? They are not buying the safe haven yet. They are risk on and piling that money into risk assets. So I think we could possibly see further downside on gold, at least, if even if it's a shallow pullback, at least to this previous area here, which would be around 4,600, even if we eventually break higher. But I think for the next few days, we'll probably be pulling back. Now, intraday, gold is kind of tricky to trade unless you find a really, really clean setup, because the asset has a tendency to consolidate forever and then take off right as you give up on holding that trade or get stopped out. So yeah, that's my quick take on gold. I don't know if you want me to share your screen, Steve, so you can give yours.
Give me a few seconds. I'm actually pulling the
No
YouTube
problem.
link because some people in my server, they want to watch us.
Yeah,
But yeah,
nice.
I think gold. It's they always either wear you out or scare you out, and gold
Yeah.
tends to wear you out, except for the few days where it really will scare you out. But it's a slow mover until it's not, like you said. Usually that contraction of volatility bores people, and then all of a sudden there's some catalyst that just lights the
Yeah,
fuse.
something like that. Yeah.
But I agree. I think it's looking a little heavy. Not the worst couple of daily wicks, but there wasn't any real volume or incentive to push through here. So it seems like maybe we need to eat those wicks, dig a little deeper into that liquidity that you mentioned. I like that level, that kind of on the daily, just maybe a 50% pullback from here to the bottom,
Yep.
recent swing bottom, something like that. And I think that's definitely a decent way to look at it. I still hold silver. I'm in silver instead of gold, but I still like it. It's kind of a hedge for me. And, I just like having it in my core. It makes me feel comfy,
Yeah. Makes you feel smart. All right, so we're definitely recovering here on the ES. So that short is looking less and less good. We will see what we get once we get to VWAP, and if we don't get a significant change in character here, then I'll probably tap out. So we'll see.
Dave, just 2 minutes ago, that looked like it was about to just roll.
Yeah, curl
Close the
back
candle
up.
under moving averages.
But
That's
you
amazing.
remember what you talked about the other day,
Mhm.
and I've been seeing that pattern. You start getting that roll, right? You start getting that roll like that, and then boom, it explodes to the upside. You think you're gonna kind of get that follow through to the downside and maybe get that cup and handle, upside down cup and handle, if you want to call it a pattern.
Right. Yeah.
But nope, we don't. We start curling, right, and then we explode to the upside. I've been seeing that pattern multiple times, and we talked about it on the stream the other day, and it's crazy how accurate that has been. So, yep.
And for me,
Okay, you think you'll stay on the Nasdaq? See you tomorrow. Okay, Tuba, no problem. Stay on the Nasdaq.
stick with it, brother. Stick with it.
Stick with it. Stick with it.
So to me, it looks like shorts are trying to run this up. And to me, Dave, when we both look at that chart and say that looked like it was going to roll and it didn't, I I have learned slowly, but I am learning. It doesn't matter how bearish that looks. If it doesn't do it, it doesn't do it. And you and
Yeah.
me, we know what a bearish candle looks like. That
Of
was a
course.
bearish candle. It didn't follow through. So that means that something, either it's a higher time frame pivot, it's some reason that this is an area of interest where the bears tried to take their shot, but the bulls just took them, just took them by the neck, said, "Nah, we're going up. We're yanking you
Yep.
up here." And now they're kind of having to stumble over each other to close out. But all that being said, we're still under my zero gamma pivot here. I still don't feel very safe assuming this won't reject. When we're kind of reaching, and short covers are not as good as long buying. I would
Yep.
rather not feel like shorts are just closing out short term and they might hop right back in. So I'm still not feeling particularly amazing about where we're headed
Bring that
today yet. I
long.
think we could just chop it out in this range.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm gonna be a little bit patient. We'll see. I just want to see how we react around that VWAP area, since we're in that previous area of consolidation. We could get that move to the downside, but if we don't, it's totally fine. Now, I will say that if when we get these slow grinds, that can last for the day or days.
Yeah, no doubt.
So we'll see. We will see. And anybody who was fading me today is profitable. So
That never feels good.
let me be your Jim Cramer today.
So for me on day to days, Dave, I'm just like, I've been in that position so many times. I'm starting to learn, like, I'll just take the little bit that they give me. I just took one small trade so far
Yep.
today, and it's sometimes that's all I can really ask for until things kind of settle on the tape and we're not trading around this key congested area that I don't have a clear definitive break up or down. Like, it looked definitive a few minutes ago, but volume wasn't crazy, and now we're already starting to have trouble holding it. It's just tough out there today.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, these are the times where you don't try to do too much. You're not making the mistake I used to do in the past, where you're flipping long and then flipping short and then flipping long and then flipping short, and you've taken 3, 4 losses in a row, and the asset has gone nowhere.
Right.
That sucks. So you stick to your guns. There's a time to hold. There's a time not to hold. Right now, so far, we're holding, and we'll see what happens. We're still
Yeah.
trading inside the box. We haven't made any super sharp moves, even though that increase in volume here with the push up kind of woke me up a little bit. But we're we're still below the volume weighted average price, and that's kind of my line in the sand.
I like that. I like that. And I'll be honest, if I was long, I wouldn't feel good here. I'd feel pretty offended that green candle just reverted like that. So
Yeah,
so if we
let's
lose
see.
the bottom of that one, that 737-ish level on SPY, I do think bears could be in bulls could be in trouble. Bears could be a little happier. I just I know the amount of times I get psyched out trading right around this equilibrium of a range, right around this 50%. That for me, I would be biased short, but I don't think I'm gonna hop in this.
Let's just wait. We don't need to both be suffering. One of us is enough,
It's a lot
right?
of trading sometimes, just
Yeah, exactly.
low key suffering.
Yeah. You were talking about silver earlier. Let me pull up your chart. I want you to show me what you're seeing, because
Yeah. Sorry, just letting people know. Another shares trade, which does seem to be working, is SOLS. That looks like a great swing for the position traders out there. But for silver, let's see what we're seeing. Intraday here acting pretty good. Looks like it wants to try to break over these pre-market highs pretty shortly here. I like that. And if silver's doing well, maybe that is a little bit of a sign of precious metals being strong. And are they? Oh, SPY's still catching too. I don't know. What are we seeing? What are we seeing, Dave? This is the trickiest price action I've seen in a couple of days at least. So
Yeah,
for
this is hands off the mouse. If you're sit on your hands if you're not in a position, and if you are in a position, know when to get out. That's it. This is this is like wait and see.
Absolutely. Let me hide these points of control there. Okay, so this is essentially what I'm seeing on silver. So when you have a big parabolic blow off like this, I don't like to do my trend lines all the way from here because this empty space doesn't really tell me much. So I wait
Yep.
for where it gapped down from. There's that top wick, and that forms a nice trend line. We got the
Mhm.
break. I was adding in here. I started the position early, like here or something. So it was a good
Nice,
entry,
nice, nice.
but I don't trim on my position. I should have trimmed there and then added back. Instead, I just held, didn't add here, waited for this break, then added here, getting the nice pop so far. And now I'm basically saying, hey, if we get above this 50%, we can squeeze. I think we're going to visit it, and then that's going to be the line in the sand here. If we get above that, I do think we can get pretty crazy pretty fast and make people mad. Maybe gets really tight here, and then boom, big move up to fill the gap. I would love,
Fill that gap.
yeah, this low volume
Yeah.
node is what I'd love to trade up into and take profit there, and then wait for, ideally, in a perfect world, this whole thing, this whole flag we're seeing could form one big W, and then I get to wait for this dip to really get back in size. Maybe
Nice.
it's a little higher. So that's, I don't
Maybe
know
it's
if that'll
higher.
happen, but it'd be nice.
We'll
Long
see.
term, I
We'll
think
see.
we're
We'll
going up.
see. It seems like there might be, supply shock in silver. Jane was talking about how the prices in Shanghai is higher, and then we have the how do you call that? I'm not too aware mining wise what's going on with the metal, but I know it's been in high demand with all the electric cars, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. So
Electric cars
that
also, Dave, I think a big thing that's flying under people's radars is the amount of silver that's used in solar panel construction.
solar panels. There you go.
And especially now, we're starting to see a lot of companies rewarded for their forays into these data center infrastructure type applications, where previously they were maybe more consumer side, or at the very least, their large contracts with these large companies. They weren't seeing as many of them, and now that's becoming the driving force in names like well, I mean, there's a couple that are really interesting. NXT, I believe, reported yesterday with very strong results, with a very strong chart, fading and giving a little bit back today, but still showing a clear range breakout here. I thought it was going to happen months ago, but whatever. So yeah, NXT is one. Another one that I think is very compelling from a narrative perspective is FSLR. And this is because they have technology that essentially requires the least amount of, what do you call it? The least amount of silver per solar panel, because they use a very thin membrane. That's kind of their special technology there. So they
Nice.
could be see an asymmetric upside even compared to the rest of solar, as the market looks for these alternate ways to power these darn data centers. So
Mm.
I like it for a longer term trade. They're going to be tricky, but I think solar looking great as well, because I don't want to get political here, Dave, but I have a pretty high conviction that Democrats are going to do well in the next election, and that should be front run. And Dems like solar, so Trump
Yeah.
doesn't. Dems do. They should do well. Kind of first order thinking, but sometimes that's all the market really responds to for a while.
Yep. Indeed.
So
Indeed. Indeed. Indeed.
just putting it on people's
Um,
radars there.
Interesting. Interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We're still just 1 year
Oh,
into the Trump man. Yeah. By the
oh,
way, I'm
whoa.
out of my trade. We just took off here, so I'm out of the short.
That's something.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice candle here. I think it was saying might be buying at levels, creating a stronger structure, maybe. Silent Gaming saying here. Indeed, indeed. If you're talking about the indices, we are just pushing higher.
Yeah, absolutely. So
looking for that recovery here.
wow. Wow. Look
Nice.
at that. That's wild. Boom. So that just swept through a big level of liquidity here. I would expect it to chill for a little bit. It's got a big level over that hasn't been transacted yet, but up into here, we've just been eating, eating, eating. And so this is a level where we could see pullback. We could also see stabilization. I would not be fading this anymore because we just smashed through zero gamma. And that is the signal. So if we back test this 738 handle, that is the buy.
Indeed. So you said 738. That would be about 723, 720 more or less on the ES. 722, I would say. So, yep. But I honestly don't know how much we're going to stall here because the buying is pretty aggressive.
Very aggressive. I do see that top wick. It's coming in right at this purple 200-minute moving average. I always use these, so that's why I was recommending. Well, did I say it out loud? I just typed in the chat. If anybody was long, take the trim. Take the trim. We just got an amazing move, and it still is showing inside day with a bias a little bit up now. I would be more inclined to target a move into tomorrow now for a little swing if we hold 738 on a pullback here. That's what I'm kind of looking at. And so we were talking about this setup all morning, Dave. It could get explosive if the shorts just couldn't hold on. And what I really want to say to the viewers here is that was a good short setup. Just 40% of the time, it does this. And so that's why risk management's so key, you know?
No, of course, of course. And, you know, I consciously decided to be stubborn here just because of what I saw yesterday. It's never a great idea to be in profit in a trade and then let it trade against you. It's better, and that's what I usually do. It's better to stop out, break even, and then find a way to get back in, or you know, kind of revert your bias. But we just got some information here. We got information that the shorts are not winning. The bulls are getting back in. So now we're just going to be patient and wait for a possible long entry. You know, we know the shorts are not in control.
Absolutely. Well, they're I feel like they're trying to scrape out whatever they can here. Just push out, trying to get it. It's like, let me out, please, not up here, please. But that's how we got up here, because they were clamoring over each other. And that high volume just cooked to the upside. So what I do usually do is when we get a high volume bar like that, I like to go to the body of that candle and just mark that zone out. Do it a different color. And that just keeps it on my radar that, hey, this was a level of interest. We got a lot of interplay here, and we got to watch. If it digests in this zone, like we are seeing it hold right there where that buyer stepped in, and they're saying, hey, we're still here, brother. We're still here.
Indeed, indeed.
Let me out. It's tough. These squeeze plays are so tough. I didn't predict that. I said I was bearish down to the downside, but it could do something crazy and explode, you know, right?
Yep.
So always probably
when you have these shorts here, you know, getting out, hitting, covering their shorts, and then you have, you know, everybody with their long bias piling in. That's when you get those explosive moves and it kind of runs away from you. If you were not in at a good area, well, you just can't get good prices. And when you can't get good prices, that's a sign of a lot of bullishness. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry. I was
just... No problem. No problem. I'm just staring at the charts. We shall see. And I have to say, I didn't have my cup of coffee today, so I'm a little slow.
No, same. And
Silent Gaming saying, let me out. I hope you weren't shorting.
It's hard, man. It's so hard with these setups where it did look bearish. But the thing is, if you were playing, okay, I mean, the real thing of interest here is, again, we got this nice reversal where, man, this looked so ugly, but then it held, and then it tapped back into it. So right at this candle, I was like, man, they are setting this up to look like it wants to knife, because you sit here, You look at this 1 minute candle, you're all zoomed in because you're levered up, right? You're short. Not you, sorry, Dave. This is not a personal
No,
attack.
it's fine. It's me, literally. It's me. I was just doing it consciously.
Well, I had to stop myself from tagging in short here, and I said it does look short, but I know how bad I get chopped up trading around
Yep.
this equilibrium, this pivot. So I know me at this point that it's not my
Nice.
strong suit.
Know
But right
thyself.
here, if you're a long, you're feeling despondent here, like if I don't pull the trigger and get out, I'm about to get hurt. And then you get the glory candle. You're like, okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. Then you see three big red candles almost reverting the entire move. You're like, why did that happen? How in 5 minutes have we changed? That feels
Yep.
very bearish, like we're reaching up for liquidity and we're going to slam down. So I bet a lot of longs got out here and feel very salty about it. 5 minutes
Very
later,
bad, very bad. And I think this is the area where you see that those green back to back to back to back prints. That's where those shorts started getting out. Hitting out of started covering, and we saw that fast, rapid move up. Like what's that? A 12-point, 10-point move. So that's shorts getting out, being squeezed. I don't know why my headphones keep falling out this morning. Put them back in. All right, let me just take a quick look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is not as strong as the ES.
it's
Funny enough.
interesting, right? We should look at the sectors here. It looks like, I mean, it's what's going so hard in the paint that it's lifting us up this much when most sectors are red and tech not particularly green. So it's weird that Q's acting weaker intraday, but I guess they gapped up more. I
Yep.
still like with the gamma exposure profile. I still think we kind of pin around 738 today, honestly. I don't know if we get like this looked like it wanted to go for continuation, but the gamma exposure profile does not support that yet. It could if they build up more strikes. I can switch to that screen real quick and show y'all if you like.
Yes, please. Yes, please. There you go. You see, they got my nickname. Justin, how you doing? How you doing? Boxy Dave, did I get any clean setups? Well, we thought we did for a while there. We were short. We were in profit, and the thing kind of flipped on us, which was a possibility. So now we're waiting to see, if we find anything better. Did you find anything on gold? I know you're the gold man.
Gold Man.
And
That's a better nickname than Boxy Dave. Why did
yeah,
he get to be Gold
yeah.
Man? You're
I don't know.
Boxy
I
Dave.
just came up with that, man. That's a good name, Gold Man
The Gold Man. I
or
love it.
Gold Justin. I need a better nickname than Boxy Dave.
I mean, it's got a ring to it. I guess you just got to own it. It just makes me laugh. That's
I mean,
better.
I liked it until I called him Gold Man. I'm like, man, this is a better name.
That's a lot better than some nicknames I had in middle school. So let's see. So just all I wanted to show is this is the
Gold.
point of contention here. This level right here, it aligns with. Let me pull it up on ES. Get you the exact levels. Essentially, 74.25, roughly there, give or take just a little.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the big
74.25.
pivot here. And as we're seeing, I mean, heck, we broke through it. We're consolidating. If we're bullish, we want to see this strike at the 74.20 start to grow and potentially up some higher here too to imply that we move up the chart once we reclaim this pivot. Candles do look good for continuation. I maybe it's just because I don't feel confident playing the long that I want it to be an inside day today, so I get a better entry tomorrow. That's possible. That's possible for sure. But all I know is this level is very important. Maybe we get a back test, a failed breakout on SPY, and a back test into this level. That would be nice to look for a long. Otherwise, I think I have to watch this one go and just be happy that plenty of longs on the port because that's a tough setup today. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see. This is looking like one of those classic breakouts. I think I might try again just for a breakout trade.
It sure is looking like it. Through the 200, I can switch back to the other. I just need Micron to fade so I can buy more RAM and have all of my programs open at once. That'd be really nice. It's still explosive. It wants to eat that wick, but bears are going to try to hold the line. Let me check in on the book map. Still,
check.
It's a high, big liquidity level, and it's basically the pre-market highs. If it can punch through that, then we get, basically we confirm the positive gamma reclaim of this. I put a little double box there to just show how important that level is, that gamma flip. And so to me, the risk is pretty defined. Like this is, if we're under here, closing candles under here, we can start nuking down and we can play that reversal. But otherwise, this is a buy the dip type environment as long as we're over that level, over that pivot. We are now eating into one of two bands of resistance / liquidity, which in this positive gamma environment is going to act as a magnet. So we have those bands sitting right about here and right about there, perfect, at the high of the day. So what we want to see with this positive gamma and what we would expect is price gets magnetized to the level, then it comes down, but when price comes down, it is mechanically getting bought up by market makers as they unwind their hedges. Essentially, they're forced to keep buying the SPY up as long as it is over this positive gamma. So then it should come again, sweep the top, show an incentive to go higher, come down again, because in this positive gamma, the high gamma target, it's a magnet when you're far away, you come up to it, but when you tag into it, it rejects, but then it's got that lift up to it. So see, we're seeing a pushback here. We would want to see a higher low. And this also is going to act as how we digest this big purple 200-minute moving average, which often defines a trend for a day. If we're over it, we can trend up. If we're under it, we can trend down. Often it will align with the 0 gamma level. So this pushback, totally normal and expected. What we wouldn't want to see is it to accelerate and lose that prior low, because that tells us, hey, this gamma is not being respected, this positive gamma drift up. But if it does, we will eventually see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times it finally goes through. 3 or 4, it would finally break out and surge up to the next level of liquidity. But right now, it is quite high up at the, probably the 740. Yeah, probably right here. I can't really see on my screen the number, but I would want to build as we push through for the incentive to move up there. And thanks for coming to my Gamma Exposure TED Talk.
No, that's really insightful. Yeah, 740. So it's about 744 on the ES. So let's see what we get. Justin saying Nasdaq seemed to be reclaiming too. Indeed. A little bit of resistance, a little bit of stickiness here, but we'll see what it does. Then you said you entered gold at 46.84 after a micro breakup for a quick scalp, hopefully a longer run. All right, let's take a look at gold. Just gonna pull up my screen for a quick second.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Managing a position.
You said 46.84. 46.84. Okay, so you caught it right there for a quick scalp. So you probably got yourself at least a, what is it? Oh, I thought you got 10 points there. All right. Well, good job. Good on you, Justin. Hopefully you got that scalp and printed some profits. Let's go back to the Nasdaq. Okay.
And we're not seeing what we'd really like to see. We didn't see that higher or the positive gamma move kick in yet, and now we are back testing the 0 gamma level right here, Dave. If we do not catch, this seems like we are pinning either an inside day or the potential to lose this 0 gamma and really knife. So that's a little bit spooky. I wasn't expecting that. It's a day full of surprises.
Full of surprises here. We've pulled back, retested that area. So let's see what we get. Do we get follow through to the upside? We're still, let me see, how are we looking on the daily? Still an inside day, indeed. Kind of Hard to call this one. So it's going to be wait and see mode for me. Let's look at the ES. ES pulling back.
It's trying to hold that level.
Nothing. It is indeed nothing. Nothing screaming at me for now in terms of setup.
Yeah, we just popped the collar of our big gamma pivot, and now we're right back into it and potentially trading under. This is tough, guys. This is
Tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's probably this was probably the short entry.
And
the ideal one.
But for me, the tough part is even right now, this is like if you're mean reversioning and trying to short this, I think you can get hurt because it's trying to hold a back test of
course,
pivot, you know.
This could totally be, a pullback for us to, we pushed higher, we're pulling back here, we hold right at this same pre-market area, and we continue to oscillate to the upside. That could totally happen. So I can't disagree with you here.
We are also seeing, we are seeing the buying trying to hold that key pivot for us. One other thing that's a little bit spooky though, bonds in particular, the 10-year yield trying to break out over that key 4.450, call it 4.45, 4.5 level, and that's spooky to me. So what I really think is going to happen is we're going to see a nice bullish headline from Axios or something right when we come into that level and just beat it on back down into the hole. But it is a little bit spooky. It's a little bit spooky.
Definitely, 4.485. So these yields sprinting, especially after that that report we got this morning and yesterday's report. How about the dollar? Are we seeing strength in the dollar? Man, my voice kind of going away today.
I'm I'm biding my time because I've been picking up a lot of hours on stream and I love it, but man, every night I'm getting a little bit hoarse and I worry is it going to be the day I wake up just cooked? It's tough. Not an easy job.
You're like those rock heavy metal singers that kind of have to take a break from screaming those notes. I don't know how they do it.
Well, I could tell you. It's funny. I was the singer in my punk band.
What? Nice.
Yeah.
Full of secrets.
Get that little fry going. And then you just get louder and louder.
Yeah. Yeah.
UNH and healthcare is screaming. That's interesting. SPY. I mean, hey, guys, we said that pullback holds.
We talked about it.
So it's still, so when you're right over the zero gamma, it will play games and try to make it look like it's going to lose it again and die. But as long as the candles close over that key level, it is showing an incentive to go higher. It hasn't made it super easy though. I will.
It has not, and it might be a day like yesterday where we just grind. Well, yesterday we had a sharp move. That was probably the entry here. Silent Gaming saying the dollar is getting stronger. Yes, the DXY is printing slightly higher here. Let's see what happens in the next 15 minutes.
Absolutely. I think that bulls might be having a good day, but I think it might be tomorrow. This is looking very constructive.
Today might just be, let's keep fooling him around, let's fool in the shorts, let's fool in the longs, let's capture the liquidity areas, and then maybe not even tomorrow, just after hours, it starts picking the real direction.
I am I am trying. I'm trying. I'm like, what is it? That what's the movie Freedom Riders or something? I'm like, how do I reach these kids? No, that's Hillary Swank. What's the one where it's the teacher trying to connect with the students? I'm like, how do I reach these bears? How do I get to you guys? Stop it! Don't shorten until we lose the zero gamma. Then we can hold hands and shorten to the sunset. And we might get it now. We might get it now. But I'm just not ready to. I'm not ready to trade bias over technicals.
Yeah.
You can't make me. You can't make me, Bears.
I just showed you live this morning what trading your bias does to you and when you're ignoring the technicals. So
I think you're being too hard on yourself. It was a tough setup, and the whole reason it was so explosive is because all the Bears. It wasn't that it was a bad setup. It was just the Bulls were waiting in the wings to just smash them
yeah,
at that level. You can't predict that. You know, it's
yeah, of course. No,
I
it's
would have
fine.
taken the
I'm
stop.
not beating myself up. I'm
Okay,
making fun of myself.
okay. I'm just making sure. You know, because
Nah,
there
I'm
might
really
be a few.
super chill here. Super chill. Don't worry.
There might be a few guys in the chat as slow as me, like, Dave, you got to stop talking about yourself like that. Dave, I see what you do. I see your skill set. Come on.
No, we're good. We're good. Everything was under control. Risk. Sorry, was calculated. So we're good.
Love it,
No
brother.
worries at all.
Hmm. Is it? Oh, the Titans with it isn't with Denzel. Silent Gaming. That's another great one. I'm blanking on it. It's
I'm trying to see. I don't have it. I don't know why. The totally unrelated. Don't ask me why. Kindergarten cop popped in my head, which has
yeah.
nothing to do with it. Oh,
We could.
man.
It could. Why not?
What
That's
you just said,
Arnold
these, I want to
Schwarzenegger, right?
tell
Yeah.
these. I was like, oh yeah, you want to tell these kids, and then you know,
Now I'm
uh,
thinking. Now I'm thinking. What is it? Jingle All the Way, where he has to buy the action figure, that Christmas one.
yeah.
Now I'm getting tangential brained. Oh no! Don't tell Josh if you see him. He's been yelling at me all week to watch The Fifth Element, and I still haven't.
You've never watched it ever?
I've never watched it. Oh no! Now I'm getting it from you too, Dave. All right, it's doubling. I'm doubling down on the list, and it's moving straight to the top. Straight to the
There you
top.
go. There you go. I watched it a long time ago, but yeah, it was a cool movie. Silent Gaming saying, "Is it the Titans with Denzel?
No, yeah, I don't think so. It's not. It's not.
Remember
What is
the
that? Remember the
Titans?
Titans? I mean, I love Denzel in just about everything, but
Yeah.
not what I was thinking of. It'll come to me. I'll look it up. I'll stop. Somebody's screaming at their screen right now. Like, come on.
Oh, they
Uh,
should type it. They should type it in the chat.
I mean,
They
I'm
know.
such a I don't even know what I am. I guess I'm a millennial. I only know it because of the South Park reference where Cartman's
Oh, really?
screaming about it. So, how do I reach these kids? I do not
Oh
know.
man.
I'm gonna find it. Stand and Deliver from 1988. It's Edward James Olmos. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
There you
Stand
go.
and deliver. Why does not ring a bell? Give me a sec.
Well, it's funny because the AI overview that popped up, it says, it says, well, the exact phrase "How do I reach these kids" is famously spoofed by Cartman in South Park and is not actually said in the film. It is the direct inspiration for the parody. That was the only quote I knew from the
Wow.
film, and it's actually not even from the
It's
film.
not in the film. Okay, no wonder it doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm a South Park kid for better or worse, you know.
South Park
So
is fun.
I can take some bullying, but you
There
know,
you
my
go.
heart's in the right place, I like to think.
South Park. I haven't watched that in a while, but
Oh no.
that's a super funny show.
I got people in my Discord server giving me a hard time. Gotta censor myself. Giving me a hard time for not watching the Fifth Element. I'm getting pinged. MJ, I will, I swear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize this would be my most controversial opinion when I'm like a pretty you know, I'm a what do you call it? Why can't I think of the word? I'm a contrarian. I take contrarian trades a lot.
Contrarian trades.
I'm so contrarian I can't even remember it. Man.
There you go. You can't remember your contrarian take. Why
Man,
do I feel that this and I hate to use the word feel, but I feel like this might just explode up.
it sure seems like it wants to. It ate all the dips off of that moving average, or I'm sorry, the our key pivot there. It was a higher low. I'm I'm in laid back, not trusting mode, but I will admit the gamma exposure is progressing bullishly. The 7420 strike is building. What we want to see is it keep building and eclipse the 7400 strike, and that's going to provide the incentive mechanically to push up out of this level, which right now is acting still as a magnet. You can see, we are holding above it, which is definitely bullish. Price acceptance over a level should open the door to the next level, but we need to
Yep.
see. What I think is important is to kind of understand the mechanics behind these anecdotes. Like, price acceptance is good, right? It holds above a key level, and that's going to open
Hmm.
that door. Why does it open the door? Because as it holds over that level, the calls from the strike that it's under, I'm sorry, that it's over, the strike is under it, they get monetized. Those bulls, they make their money, they lock that in, and then they redeploy that money to a higher strike. And
Hmm.
that is the pull that gets that to happen. If the price goes up, they monetize, they sell those calls into the strike, which is just good trading, right? And
Hmm.
then price rejects off of that, then you can think, okay, this is not showing that there's another target to reach up to. We already
Yeah.
did the reach to liquidity, and now we're seeing a result, a response off of that. So just another kind of thing that, like, you'll hear, like, maybe the wall of worry. It's like, well, what is
Hmm.
that? Well, that is shorts getting smoked, trying to short into bullish tape. If the
Yep.
structure is structurally positive in positive gamma, then market makers do not have to hedge to the downside. And you only get that expansion downwards if you are under the zero gamma. So we're talking about the bullish way price acts bullishly. It looks like it's probably going to break out pretty soon here. That was a nice wick up off moving averages.
Yeah,
So
that's that break I've been thinking about taking.
yeah, let's see. Let's see. Sure looking good. Sure looking good. But yeah, this is the exact kind of price action in positive gamma that if we were in negative gamma, then you could look for that same kind of acceleration to the downside if price hangs out under that key strike. But right now,
Yep.
not what we're seeing, and it's doing the thing. Congratulations,
Indeed,
Bull.
indeed, indeed. Can we take a look at your
Oh,
levels again here,
yeah,
if you don't
absolutely.
mind?
You want to see my gamma exposure or my chart?
No, your gamma exposure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just I want to see how we're looking now.
Right. Yeah, it's cool to watch in real time. And I'm once I make this prettier, Dave, I will be shipping this for anybody in my community. But for
Nice.
now, it's on it's on a spreadsheet here. Well, the important part is, whereas before this big strike, it is still the biggest. You can see it higher on the top on the green side here. It is still the biggest, but this one and this one, these two intermediary levels, about 10 points up each, are acting as a anchor, as I'm sorry, a magnet as they
Hmm.
grow. They were previously down here. Now
Lower.
they're up here and growing. So if they eclipse this level here, so that is about 1 billion in notional there, I think, roughly.
Mm.
So if we can get that, then the eclipse there, then it should be a magnet up. Until then, we might see a few false breaks, but the important thing is that we hold the structure over that key pivot. What we really don't want to see if we are bulls is we would really hate to see this 73.90, this 73.75, this 73.60 start growing, growing, growing bigger than this pivot. But right
Yep.
now, excellent expansion out of there, and I would expect to see these, yeah, see that tick up right there. So it's all according to plan, Dave, and I truly believe this is like very, very actionable for intraday traders, and it's a huge level up if you can figure out how to use this stuff.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. I
Rubber
recommend they
round.
go watch your presentation that I would go need to go rewatch on Getz levels and everything. I think it's very insightful. You did that a while back, but I watched it and it was pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
It
And
has a nice pink color to it.
I think that I need to probably revisit that because I've been learning a lot since those. That was a few months ago, and that was when I was starting to use it. I had been using it every day for about a month at that point, and familiar with it for a year past. But I started looking at it every day. I'm like, wow, this is so actionable. What am I doing? And this is
Indeed.
crazy on SPY. We're seeing like gap up candles on the index, and that's shorts just getting smashed here.
Smoked. Yep.
smoked.
So
And meanwhile, while we're
just,
talking, look, we almost outpaced this level now. We're getting close. We're getting close, and that's
yep.
very impressive.
Justin, NQ breaking out. Yes, I see NQ breaking out, and I'm taking my trade on the ES, just scaling in. So I entered long.
Nice.
So first, we took the break of the opening range, not the preferred entry, but just don't want to let this one run away from us. And then on the way up, since this will probably be a longer term hold for me, I'll see where to add on pullbacks.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I'd keep an eye on those moving averages, the 9, and it's so strong. It's riding up off the 5. It'd be nice to get an entry off the 9, which would be roughly a back test of the wicks from the range that we just broke out of, that little flag.
Yep.
But man, good call tagging in. I'm a little sleepy today, and so I'm just gonna. I've been talking about the
Hey,
plan.
you had your quick win in the morning,
Yeah, I'm I'm
so
I'm a
you're
sleepy guy.
good.
On Wednesdays, this is kind of the gauntlet for me. I love it, and I like that I get to be sharpest in the morning with you when the trading's the best. So I get to knock that out, and then I got a whole bunch of planning and script writing and stuff to prep for 3 hours of streaming later. So
Wow,
always
nice.
something. But I
Yep,
love it. I
always
love
something. There is a lot of back end work that comes with this privilege.
it.
So
Yes,
yeah, I
sir.
can totally relate to that.
And Dave, I think it's so important to note that for newer traders because a lot of you might think that hey, we just wake up, roll out of bed, and we're ready to go. And no, that's not the case. This is the execution of the strategy that we plan going
Yep.
forward, and then we arrive at the table with a plan, and we see how the price works with our plan. If it's aligning, we can trade that. If not, we reevaluate, and it never ends, which is the beauty and also the grind, right? So you gotta love it.
Indeed.
You got to love it and you got to stay sharp and preserve that mental capital because Dave, I don't know about you, but I get burnt out every couple weeks or months. I just need to take a few days off. It's too
There
much.
are, yeah, there are periods. Well, I mean, usually unless I it hasn't happened in a while, but there are periods where I need to kind of zone out. Just a couple of days, just a weekend or something, and then
Mm,
I come back energized. But
yeah.
yeah, it does take its toll. I saw a post the other day from, of course, he's way in a different league. Lance, is it Bernstein?
I'm actually not familiar with
Um,
that.
yeah,
Rare.
he used to trade. He's 100 million plus in profits. He was a professional prop trader. He has a YouTube channel now. And
Lance Bretstein, maybe?
Brett Steen, there you go.
Okay. All right. Still don't recognize
Um,
it, but other people do online. So,
yeah, Lance Brett Steen. And he was talking about how he's done trading his health for wealth. Because
nice.
trading at that high of a level, he becomes antisocial.
Yeah.
He beats himself up on the weekends because
Yes.
of he didn't perform the way he thought he was going to. And it's like at this level you're being a professional athlete, but even at a lower level you're constantly having to perform. It does take its toll, its mental toll, and I think it even acts on the body. We don't realize that, but you need your occasional breaks from the market. Go touch grass, go look at the sun, swim in the water, whatever you do. Go outside, step out, step step away from these screens for a while, and then you can come back refreshed with a new perspective.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was typing an entry there. But no,
Oh,
you're
you're fine.
so
You're
you're
fine.
so right. You're so right there about oh, sorry, just really, really quick. I did pick up some APLD. If anybody cares, I'm just it's just
Nice.
I love the company. I think it might be on the verge of a major breakout, and we have NBIS earnings after hours, so a big sympathy play for that. Obviously risky to buy anything at all time highs into earnings. Not saying follow, just saying I'm doing it. I
That's
also have a
it.
nice
You're doing the Jesse Livermore, buying high to sell higher.
Exactly, exactly. You know what? And that is what I'm all about. I am a momentum trader at heart. I try to temper that with some, mean reversion to not lose my shirt if it doesn't go my way. But I love buying high and selling a bit higher. Hopefully a lot higher.
Nice. Hey, it works. It works. If it works, it works.
Yeah, and
Um,
sometimes sometimes it works.
Sometimes, Silent Gaming saying the mental toll is insane. Yeah, the mental toll is insane. I mean, I've
Mhm.
had very dark times, especially at the beginning. I
No doubt.
remember, quick anecdote. My most painful loss was about 2 years in, and I lost $100. So it's
Wow.
nothing, not a lot of
Right.
money, right? I had lost plenty more, but that $100 loss was more painful than any of my losses because it was just loss after loss after loss. I think I was 2 weeks straight in the red, just trading horribly, while watching other traders just kill it. And you kind of feel worthless. It's stupid now when I think about it in retrospect, but I was like, okay, I had the plan, did everything right, I thought was right. And then I just took another loss.
It's
And
brutal.
it was just a
Mhm.
$100, but it was brutal,
I totally
So
get that.
it
It's never about the amount of money, and I always try to explain this to people because, like, yeah, I'm not saying I'm trading at a high level, but I was doing this full time as my only job before I started doing the streaming to
yeah,
for my sanity, to get
yeah,
some stable
I
income.
get it.
It's just nice knowing no matter how bad I might trade on any given day, bills are going to be paid.
Yeah,
So 'cause that was a big weight on my shoulders when I was just doing it all on my
doing it
own,
full
and
time, yeah.
yeah, and
Oh,
you
it's tough.
isolate so much. It's
It's tough.
not good for you. I don't think it's good for anybody. So
It's tough.
everything in moderation, even this thing that we're all so passionate about. And that made me a better trader by not taking every setup because you know what? I
Yep.
want to take every single setup. I
No,
had
I
that
know.
coming out of me.
I totally get it. I did it full time also for a while, and the performance just dropped because it's a huge amount of pressure.
Mhm.
So I totally get it. We can all relate. I have here Silent Gaming saying Boxy talking facts,
He's
and this was
spitting.
you last week. Yep, we all get it. That's why we're here in this together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not about who's got the best P&L. We're not competing against each other. We're just trying to get that consistency up, those hit rates up. And I think in particular, the biggest thing that any trader can do, if you're like, what should I focus on? I would not tell you to like change your whole system, find some new golden goose. I wouldn't say, anything other than make sure you're making your losses small. When you feel it in the gut of your stomach that your idea didn't play out, which is going to happen 20 to 50, maybe 60% of the time if you're new,
Yep.
pull the trigger fast. Don't let yourself be staring at the screen, beating yourself up every single minute candle that goes against you when you knew in your heart that it wasn't working how it should have, right? And I
Yep.
think that's the biggest thing. It's like Mark Twain said, it's not the things uh that we don't know that hurt us. It's the things that we know that just ain't so.
Yep. Yep.
Those will kill
Yep.
you.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Man, time flies when you're having fun. And on all this wisdom, I see it is 11 o'clock. I'm glad to be ending on a positive note. So we're catching this long. We're slowly making back the loss. So now we need this to go to the moon. And like we said, this Friday, I will be live with Mr. Super Steve Tillman here and LJ from the Fivers Forex will be talking about uh, the new Fed era that's going to begin, and bring you some cool insights there. I have a quick question I want to take. Where's my TP heading into resistance? Well,
This is one take profit here. You can also shoot for 10 points up on ES roughly. So I'm looking at 740 on SPY as the next big level. If we can keep on cooking and surging here, I would be trailing your stop if you haven't taken any money off the table yet, because I mean this is a good move and it could revert at any time the if the volume falls off. So what I have is 74.20 is our new point of control on the in terms of GEX. That's the highest print now. I do have to translate that to ES, but
no problem, no
I'll do
problem.
that for you real quick here if you have anything else to say.
No, but we're just to answer Justin, we're definitely heading into resistance here. We've just, I like to do my measured moves. We're right below this level, so I'm targeting just a slightly higher, maybe that 74.44 level. But the way price has been moving, I like it. So we'll see. I think
Absolutely.
this might turn into a longer term hold. I'll manage the trade. But don't
So,
panic for me, Justin. We're good. We're fine. This is small risk. We're doing just good. Just fine.
by the way, Dave, that level exactly for ES is 74.40, and that is equivalent to
74.40.
740 on SPY. Nice and even there. That's
Yeah.
7420 on SPX, and that is the next liquidity draw for sure.
Nice.
If we can continue to progress upwards, as long as we hold that 7400, should be good.
Nice.
Let's see. So, Dave, Friday, that's going to be awesome, and obviously looking forward to next Wednesday as well.
Yep.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, is it all right if I drop my free Discord link if anybody would like to join my community? Otherwise, I
Sure,
can.
sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Didn't want to overstep, but I'd love to get some of you fine people in there
Go
as
right
well.
ahead. We have a bunch of fine people here in the chat who are
Looks
giving some fine nicknames to the hosts. So who knows? You might get a new nickname.
so it looks like I don't have permissions to post comments in
You
here, but
can
I did
send it,
private message you that.
then I'll drop it.
I appreciate that so much, guys. Yeah, all free in there. We have a lot of good traders. My biggest thing there is that I'm not the best trader in the room. So I'm trying to get more great traders, and I know we got some in here. So feel free to
Oh,
join in the conversation, and I'd appreciate that.
indeed. Wait, how do I copy this? Give me 1 second. Okay. Just dropped it. All right, guys. Well, on that note, we will see you. I will see you tomorrow, and I'll see you Friday.
Awesome. Can't wait, Dave. Thanks so much
All
for having me on.
righty. Awesome.